Right now, there is a device on rooftops across the world that has no engine, no fuel, no moving parts, and it is quietly generating electricity, completely silent, completely still. And most people who walk past one every single day have absolutely no idea how it actually works. Today, that changes, because by the end of this video, you are going to understand solar panels at a level that most engineers cannot explain clearly. From the behaviour of a single atom, all the way up to a complete working power system for your home. And trust me, the actual science behind this thing is way more mind-blowing than anyone ever told you. Let us start with something everyone thinks they understand. Sunlight. You feel it, you see by it. But here is what your school probably never told you. Sunlight is not just brightness, it is physical energy, real, measurable, travelling energy, moving at 300,000 kilometers per second across 93 million miles of empty space. From the surface of the sun to your rooftop, in 8 minutes. And it does not travel in waves the way water does. Sunlight travels in tiny individual packets of energy called photons. Billions of them, hitting every surface around you right now. Here is the thing though, most surfaces just convert those photons into heat and let them go. Your roof absorbs them and gets warm. Your car absorbs them and becomes an oven. The energy arrives and then just disappears into warmth. A solar panel refuses to let that happen. Instead of wasting those photons as heat, a solar panel catches them and does something extraordinary with them. It converts them directly into electricity. How? 2 words. Photovoltaic effect. Photo meaning light. Voltaic meaning electricity. Light directly becoming electricity. No burning, no spinning, no fuel. Just light going in and electricity coming out. This effect was first accidentally discovered in 1839 by a 19-year-old French physicist named Edmond Becquerel. He was experimenting with metals in liquid and noticed something strange. When light hit certain materials, a tiny electric current appeared. Out of nowhere. He had stumbled onto one of the most important discoveries in human history, and he was a teenager. But here is the question that took scientists another 100 years to fully answer. What material can actually do this reliably and cheaply enough to be useful? The answer turned out to be something incredibly ordinary. Sand. Specifically, silicon, which is refined from sand and happens to be the second most abundant element on the entire planet. But here is where it gets genuinely fascinating. Plain silicon on its own does not do much. The trick is in how engineers modify it. They take silicon and deliberately introduce 2 different types of impurities into it. On purpose, very precisely. The first type gives the silicon extra electrons, more than it naturally needs. The second type creates gaps, spaces where electrons are missing. Now picture 2 groups of people. Group 1 is packed, standing room only, people squeezed in with nowhere to go. Group 2 is nearly empty, rows of vacant seats, wide open space. Put those 2 groups next to each other, and what happens naturally? People move from the overcrowded side toward the empty side, without anyone telling them to. The imbalance creates movement automatically. That is exactly what happens inside a solar cell. When a photon of sunlight hits that silicon, it knocks an electron loose. And that electron, instead of wandering randomly, gets pulled in one direction by the imbalance between the 2 layers. Electrons moving in one direction. That is electricity. Literally, that is the definition. A solar panel is doing this across thousands of individual silicon cells, billions of times per second, with 0 moving parts, 0 fuel, 0 noise, just light in, electricity out. Now let us look at what a solar panel is actually made of, because that flat rectangle most people ignore contains some serious engineering. The outer layer is tempered glass, not ordinary window glass. This stuff is engineered to survive hailstorms, heavy rain, extreme heat, and 25 years of direct tropical sun without cracking or degrading. Directly underneath that glass is an anti-reflective coating. Think about why that matters. If sunlight bounces off the surface before it can get in, those photons are wasted. This coating is specifically designed to pull as much light inward as possible, capturing every photon it can. Then come the silicon cells. A standard panel has 60 to 72 of them arranged in a grid. Each cell is roughly the size of your palm, each one generating a small voltage on its own. Together, they create real usable power. Behind the cells sits a protective backsheet, sealing out moisture and heat from below. And the whole thing is held together by an aluminium frame built to sit on a rooftop for 3 decades without corroding. Glass, coating, silicon, backsheet, frame. That is it. 5 layers. Engineering that lasts 30 years. But here is where most solar explanations stop, and where yours is going to go further. Because a solar panel alone does not power your home, not even close. What you actually need is a system, and understanding that system is the difference between solar that transforms your life and solar that disappoints you. Component 1, the inverter. Your panels produce what is called direct current electricity, DC, electrons flowing in one steady direction. But every appliance in your home, your fridge, your TV, your air conditioner, they all run on alternating current. AC, electricity that rapidly switches direction. The inverter is the device that makes that conversion happen. DC from the panels goes in. AC your home can actually use comes out. The inverter is the brain of your entire solar system. Get a cheap one and your whole system suffers. Component 2, the battery. During the day, your panels will produce more electricity than your home is using. Without a battery, that excess just disappears, wasted or sent back to a grid that may not even give you credit for it. With a battery, that excess electricity gets stored and used at night, on cloudy days, during power cuts. For anyone living somewhere with unreliable grid electricity, and there are hundreds of millions of people in exactly that situation, the battery is not a bonus feature. It is the entire point of going solar. Component 3, the charge controller. This is the quiet protector nobody talks about. It sits between your panels and your battery and manages exactly how electricity flows between them. It stops the battery from being overcharged. It prevents damage from voltage spikes. It extends the life of your battery by years. A good installer never skips this. A cheap installer often does. Panels, inverter, battery, charge controller. Those 4 components together create a complete independent power system running entirely on sunlight. No monthly fuel cost, no engine to service, no noise, no fumes. Now the numbers, and I am going to give you the real ones. A standard quality solar panel today converts between 18 and 22% of the sunlight hitting it into electricity. That number has people ask, only 22%? But here is the context that matters. A 3 kilowatt system, about 12 panels, in a location receiving 5 to 6 hours of good sunlight daily, produces around 15 kilowatt hours of electricity. The average Nigerian home uses between 3 and 8 kilowatt hours per day. A properly sized solar system does not just meet your needs, it exceeds them. And these panels last. Most quality panels carry a 25 to 30 year performance warranty. After 25 years of generating electricity every single day, a well-made panel still performs at around 80% of its original output. Think about that. A device you install today will still be working in 2050. Now the cost conversation. And this is the one most people get wrong. Yes, solar requires upfront investment. But take out a calculator and add up what you spend on generator fuel, generator servicing, and electricity bills every month. Multiply that by 10 years. That number, for most Nigerian households, is significantly larger than what a quality solar system costs to install once. Solar does not drain your money. After the initial investment, it stops the drain. But, and I want to be completely honest with you here, cheap solar is a trap. A low-quality inverter fails within 2 years. Budget batteries degrade in 18 months. Panels without proper mounting get damaged in the first serious storm. When people say solar disappointed them, it was almost never the technology that failed. It was corners that were cut. Solar done properly lasts 30 years. Solar done cheaply costs you more than staying on the grid. Now, the things most solar salespeople will not tell you, because they want the sale more than they want your satisfaction. Panel angle matters. In Nigeria, close to the equator, panels tilted at 10 to 15 degrees generate significantly more power than panels lying flat. A lazy installation loses you money every single day for 30 years. Shade destroys performance. One small shadow from a nearby tree falling across even a single cell can drop the output of an entire panel dramatically. Before any installation, the site needs to be properly assessed for shade throughout the full day. This is not optional. Temperature affects output. This one surprises people. Solar panels actually become slightly less efficient in extreme heat. In Nigeria's climate, this needs to be factored into system sizing. A professional installer accounts for this. An amateur one does not. Dust is a real performance killer. Nigeria's dusty conditions mean panels need regular cleaning to maintain their output. Simple, cheap, but very often completely ignored after installation. None of these are reasons to avoid solar. Every one of them is manageable with proper planning and a competent installation. They are just things you deserve to know before you spend your money. So let us be honest about what solar cannot do. It does not generate electricity at night, not without battery storage. If you install panels with no battery, you are still dependent on the grid from sunset to sunrise. Its output does reduce in heavy cloud. In Nigeria's rainy season, this is a real factor that needs to be honestly designed around, not ignored or minimized. And manufacturing solar panels does carry an environmental cost in energy and materials. That cost is real. Studies consistently show a panel recovers that manufacturing energy within 1 to 4 years of operation, and then runs clean for another 25. But we mention it because honesty matters more than a perfect pitch. Here is the full picture. Solar is not magic, but it is genuinely extraordinary. An object with no engine, no fuel, no moving parts, sitting on your rooftop, converting sunlight into electricity for 30 years. Silently, every single day. You came into this video not knowing how that was possible. Now you do. You understand photons and electrons and silicon. You know what an inverter does, what a charge controller protects, why battery storage is the game changer. You know what to demand from an installer and what corners to watch out for. That knowledge is genuinely valuable, and it belongs to you now. If you are in Lagos, Ogun, or Ibadan, and you are ready to go from understanding solar to actually having it, Peak Renewable Energy designs and installs complete systems built to last. Over 500 installations. Free consultation at peakret.cloud. Link is in the description. Subscribe if you want to keep going deeper. Every week we take one piece of the energy story and explain it completely, the way it deserves to be explained. And drop a comment right now. Before this video, did you actually know how a solar panel worked? Let me know below. I read every single one